suddenly Shelly and I went from, wow, celebration of life, holy shit, I'm going to hell. By the way, I was like, whoa. But still, it was, I wanted to go hug the man because I thought, we need more of you in the world. Telling people, that's your choice to be offended. We're being smart. And it's real. And of course, then I did think the weird juxtaposition is he talked about the realness of it and what it can do to you. And by the way, you don't decide if you're going to die. And then it became God talking. I was like, I'm so confused by, is it my, the variant or not? But walking into those moments where people don't give a shit. Go in the grocery store now.
Yeah.
And I walk in and I'm wearing a mask and I see people look at me. I'm like, hey, go fuck yourself. I'm wearing my mask.
Yeah.
And I'm not taking a chance with you. I just don't understand the badge of honor that goes along with not wearing a mask and not getting vaccinated. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Makes no sense to me.
It's not responsible to other people around you.
No.
Oh, no, not good for yourself. I mean, there was an article on the Washington Post about I guess there's a guy who's blogging his COVID experience right now, and he I think one of his lungs collapsed, and he's basically he's like, I'm not trying to preach to everybody, but I need you to know that I just kept putting off getting the vaccine, and this is where I'm at. I need to tell you, please go get vaccinated. I put my family at risk. I'm now in the hospital. I may not survive this. It was pretty rough article. I'm like, I don't know that I could watch his videos. It'd probably just break my heart.
Yeah, I mean, even if he survives, what, you've got now hundreds of thousands of dollars to own the libs by not taking a shot?
Yeah.
Well, then I saw a Republican pundit who does a lot of shit online died, and it died quickly from getting it. And he had just days before made fun of people that were worried about it. And they literally said it got him and it went to his lungs and he was gone. And I thought, okay, if you're listening, it does not fuck with your DNA. That is 100%.
There's no microchips.
Irrefutable fact. It does not fuck with your DNA. That's not how this works. These ideas that somehow you're tough because you're not doing it, it's not true. Go get the fucking shot. Help us get past all this. And I'm sorry to make this preachy moment, but look, we're at a point where take responsibility.
Oh, do it for other people.
Yes.
Do it for other people. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like,
it's a very selfish mentality. It's all these people that you see, I'm not going to get this shot. I mean, it's a hoax until it happens to them. Then it's, I wish I had done it. Everybody seriously take it.
Right. And how many doctors have you heard say exactly that people start asking for it when it's too late, and it's like, it won't help you.
It's a very selfish attitude of it's not real until it infects me.
We went from Daredevil to like really somber
pandemic talk.
Okay, fine.
Wow.
Then let's switch gears. Where can we go that takes us towards the end of this? We've got about 10 minutes left on what we usually do. Give me something. Give me a topic. Come on. Wait, I think your caffeine's kicked in.
Has my caffeine kicked in?
Are you watching Bad Batch still?
Yeah.
I guess you haven't caught up on the last.
I watched Fridays. Have they posted the second part of that, or does that come next week?
Next week.
Oh wow, I'm way behind.
I was shocked.
2 episodes, 3 episodes.
She said, "All right, fuck this planet."
Yeah, It's the typical animated Star Wars thing where the first season I'm always kind of like, this isn't going anywhere, and then finally things begin to escalate.
Wrap it up.
Okay,
it does kind of escalate to the point where what I do find very fascinating with this show is it showing that very moment when the Republic becomes the Empire. And what that had to do to throw the world into submission. And so I find that very interesting, and I'd love to stay here with it. I just hope we get to see more of that instead of simply clones flying around on the run.
Doing missions.
Yeah. That gets a little boring to me. It makes me almost wish they would just give me 5 episodes of greatness instead of 14 of...
do you think they introduced the Omega? She's a clone of Boba Fett that's a female.
Uh-huh.
So does that mean... They're saying if she survives the show, there's a female Boba Fett out there that can have little Boba Fett babies?
Maybe.
So that's how they can... Like, you're going to have an episode of The Mandalorian where... you're going to have an episode of the Book of Boba or whatever where a little kid shows up and says, I'm a Fett too. And
Hi, Daddy.
Yeah, it's like, wait, how are you a Fett? I'm the last one. And then she comes in and says, hey, I'm Omega.
I think some of the interesting things that all of those shows have done, and now I can't remember what that little... code is that you have to travel around in the Empire, but Filoni introduced that, sort of to say that there's a way to keep things in check. And I think a lot of those things to the folklore of Star Wars are very interesting. Mm-hmm. It does feel like, why is the world so based on Boba Fett now?
Yeah.
I still never understood why Jango Fett was the basis for all the clones, because Boba, even though he's fucking cool, wasn't the best shot in the world. He fucking missed Luke on Bespin, you know?
And he get hit with a stick and flew into the side of the carrier and got eaten for a little bit.
I always found that very odd. But at the same time...
Well, also, if you think about it, look at all the clone troopers. They're kind of shitty shots, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at least they finally said, all right. And also, you know, they did a little bit in Rise of the Force, or The Force Awakens. But they, you know, definitely saying, hey, look, these are not clones anymore. These are new conscripts that we have. These are actual regular humans now.
Yeah. The ObiWan show interests me because I never considered that Obi-Wan and Vader ever met again before New Hope, but now from what I'm kind of hearing, because they bring Hayden back to play Vader.
Yeah.
And I also think if you're bringing Hayden back to play Vader, at some point we're going to see his face.
Yeah.
You don't bring him back just to stick him in a costume. I'm very interested to hear, did they get to battle again? Does something happen?
Right.
That's a lot of fun. And I don't think Ewan McGregor would come back if it weren't fun, because if you go read his comments, he was not ultimately satisfied with making those films.
When is do they have a date for the Obi-Wan show? I'm really excited.
I think it'll be
that.
sometime next year.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm
what
so
it
excited
says.
about it.
We got Obi-Wan, we got more Mandalorian, we got what else? They're doing the X-Wing show. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh yeah.
The Book of Boba.
The X-Wing thing, there was a movie.
Oh, that's
Patty
a movie?
Jenkins, who directed
Oh, it's
Wonder
going to be a
Woman.
movie, not a show.
Oh, okay.
And apparently Patty Jenkins has always wanted to do some kind of fighter show because her dad was a fighter pilot.
I didn't realize it was a movie. I thought it was a show.
I'm looking. Filming. Oh, Obi-Wan is scheduled to be released in 2022 and will consist of 6 episodes.
All right.
So, soon.
6 episodes. Okay. All right.
But that's great. Give me 6 episodes of fucking greatness.
Yeah.
And I want to see a little baby Luke. I want to see Obi-Wan keeping an eye on him, protecting him. I want those things.
Well, they got to be a little cautious and not just repeat the Mandalorian kind of scenario.
Well, but they've already cast what's his name?
Owen and Beru.
Yeah, the same actors. They're in it. So therefore you have to have
A Luke somewhere.
a baby Luke somehow.
Yeah.
Or young Luke, not baby Luke.
Yeah, we're gonna have no, never mind. I was about to say R2D2 and C3PO, but that was later. Never mind.
By the way, that all of a sudden shifts me to, did you see the news about some young person doing deep fake replacements of Luke? Did you see this? Mm-mm. So the deep fake where they can actually take a face and place it on and make him look like they're not doing anything. Well, he decided to do experiments and create a better Luke for the end of The Mandalorian.
Oh.
He subsequently he put Harrison Ford over the kid that did in Han Solo in the Solo film. And they're fucking amazing. Lucasfilm sees it, hires him, brings him on.
Wow, yeah.
And apparently, this guy has been doing research on.
Oh, really?
It's not just like a fan sitting there doing it. He writes papers about it.
Well,
can you imagine what that's going to do in terms of us revisiting these characters?
Well,
it's always jarring when you saw Leia.
It's because the mouth's not perfect.
So, one thing that I found too, he redid the Tarkin stuff from Rogue One.
Okay, yeah.
And really what I noticed in the difference when I watched it was almost the shading underneath the eyes. He just changed that, and it made him look so much more alive. Now, there's still some stiffness to it, but if they can take that, that's very cool to do that. But why not just recast somebody and just say this is Tarkin? Because
there's an actor who was on who was at the end of episode 3 where you saw Tarkin.
Yes,
I
think he actually did the stand-in stuff for Rogue One.
Yeah, so he looks very much like Tarkin, and so just a little bit more makeup makes him look like him, and he can speak with that British accent if he needs to. Right. And so just recast it and say this is Tarkin.
When it comes to that, I have no problem. I can understand to an extent the Leia thing at the end that needed to look like Carrie, but her daughter looks a lot like her. And I think if you'd put her with the buns, I think everybody would have bought it.
Yeah.
What
it
if
comes into they've also talked about Sebastian Stan eventually taking over if they do any kind of Luke Skywalker thing. And he does look enough like Mark Hamill.
To pass it off, for sure.
Speaking of which, What If starts up on Wednesday.
What does?
What If?
The animated.
Oh, does that really?
Yeah. 10 episodes. There's first season. From what I've heard, they're supposed to do like at least one per movie, so they're going to cover everything.
I'm trying to decide if I really care. I just don't know. I love the concept in the comics.
This is going to be the last performance of Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa.
Yeah,
did he actually record it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost everybody has recorded their voices except for Robert Downey Jr.
He just didn't want to do it?
I don't know. Maybe he just
is he too much of a dick?
I can't remember if Chris Evans recorded himself, but almost everybody else, if you think of them, they got their character, their actor to do
it's
the
easy.
character.
It's an easy check. Why not do it?
Right. Final thing, I know Suicide Squad,
I have 30 minutes left to watch.
All right, so we'll save that till the next in between, and we'll talk about it then. All right. I think that's about it. All right, everyone have a great weekend. We'll be back with more episodes next week.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.